All right, it's Friday, January 2nd, 2026, down here in the basement, testing out the beer brewing machine Kelsey got me for Christmas. We got it preheating, target temperature 156, then we'll add the grain in there. Check out the recipe. I'm going to be brewing a light duty IPA. The guys down at the local brew store helped me out, and we souped it up a little bit to get the ABV to 6.7. Original recipe had 3.9. So that's the game plan. Once it heats up to 156, we'll get on with the rest of the process here. All right, we've reached 156 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these grains in here. I'm gonna start with these rice husks. They recommended the beer shop to put these in there to help with clogging. So we'll give that a try. Don't know how much. They said a couple handfuls, so that looks good to me. All right. Stir this up, make sure there's no clumps. Smells like we're making bread. Alright, it's looking good for now. Ran into our first problem. This doesn't appear to want to come out. There we go. believe that stays off. This cap doesn't overflow. So we'll leave that off, see what happens, and get the lid back on. Get this return pipe situated. Get the pump turned on and let her rip. It's got 55 minutes left, so that took about 5 minutes getting all that in there. We can maybe add another 5 minutes towards the end, but I think that should be good enough for now. So we'll let this sit here for, I guess, 55 minutes and come back for the next step. All right, back after the 60 minutes. We're doing a mash out 170 for 10 minutes. It's at 169, so almost there. Looking good. So far, not clumpy. Looking good. So far, so good. All right, we've hit our 10 minutes at 170. Let me get this. I'll lift this basket out of here. And do some sparging. Guess we'll just let it drain for a little bit. Don't know if we need to let it all drain out before we add the water. Let me see here. Seven gallons. Yeah. All right, this is going to take a little bit, so come back once this is drained out a little bit.
Put the water in there with it?
Yep. All right. Heated up some water upstairs to sparge the basket, so all right, I'll see what that does. It says it should take about an hour, so we'll come back for the next step. All right, we're back again. This has completed the draining process. We're going to get the temp here set up to boiling for 60 minutes. Start that now. And once it gets up to boiling, we'll start adding the hops and finish her off. All right, we hit boil, so now we're gonna do 0.5 ounces of these Centennial hops. So let's try to 0.53. And we're gonna call it 0.53. All right, first hop addition. We'll let that go. We'll hit another one up in 10 minutes and then another following it in 30. So standing by. All right, little update here. We have about 20 minutes left of the boil. Here are our hop additions. Did Centennial at the beginning of the boil. Then at 10 minutes we did Cascade. 30 minutes Centennial again. And then here at the flame out we'll add the final ounce of Chinook hops. I think we got, 14 minutes left. So 14 minutes left. I'm going to set it up and drop the wort chiller in there. Got this stuff over here sanitized. So I'll pull that out, drop it in. Then at flame out, we'll start chilling it down and get ready to ferment. So, been a pretty good experience so far. Having a good time. We'll check back later. All right, we've reached the end of the boil, doing the final hop addition at flame out. Get those bad boys in there. All right, so I'm just gonna leave the pump recirculating in here and turn on the wort chiller. Try to get this from 212 down to 65 to 70 degrees. And then we'll start the process for transferring into the fermentation bucket and adding the yeast. So far so good. Flip this around. Looking good. And we got the chiller in there, hooked up, running over to the sink. Start pumping some cold water through here. This may start leaking. We used the wrong kind of hose. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens. It's going to be too hot for the silicone hose. Looks like we're gonna be good. All right. Yep, cooling it down quick. Where are we at? 199. So that's working good. All right. Come back at the next step. All right, welcome back. We have reached 69. So we're going to transfer it. I already sterilized everything, but we're going to transfer it into this bucket here using the pump. And add the yeast. Should be pretty easy. Kill the pump real quick. Being careful. Everything being sanitary. We're gonna hit the pump. Pump her in there. Should have just over 5 gallons. It's pretty good. What does this bucket say? Yeah, here we go. Just almost 1 gallon in there. Pretty good system here. Curious to see how much is left in the bottom of here. How much actual beer we can get out of this. I already went ahead and prepped some stuff over here. So we got our sanitizer bottle, yeast packet. I'm gonna use this. I don't know how to pronounce any of that, but the beer guy said dry ale yeast. So that's what we're gonna use. Get the hydrometer to get the original gravity reading before, and we'll get a final one. See what percentage this bad boy ends up at. Looking pretty good. All right, finished the transfer, got her pretty dry. Had to pick up that pickup tube on the bottom. We got just right at 5 gallons. Looks pretty good. Measured the OG gravity. We got we were targeting a 0.168, I guess. Must have been wrong. We got a 1.065, so pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and add the yeast in now, and we'll seal her up for a couple weeks. See if we can turn this into some actual beer. See you in a few weeks. Alright. Trying to get a good look. Pop the top off. Smelling like beer. Gonna do the dry hops. Today is Wednesday. So on Friday we will bottle it. But don't know what I'm looking at, but it looks good to me. Oh, today marks 4 weeks fermentation. It is January 30th, 2026. And we're gonna bottle today. I did this off camera. Beer was fermenting in this bucket. Off camera, I transferred it into here. And that's what we're gonna use. This wand to bottle our beers. So I'm gonna get started here, walk through the process. I'm going to repeat this 48 to 50 times. Then when I'm done with that, we'll move on to bottling with the bottle caps. Got the first 24 beers bottled. Capper out of a sanitizer. We're going to put these carbonation drops in each beer bottle. And then get some beer bottle caps and cap them up. So let me flip this around. Pretty cool. It's got a magnet, holds the bottle cap in there. Never used one of these, so this will be the first we go here. Pretty good. So, the idea with the carbonation drops is that sugar, or I guess the yeast feeds on the sugar and creates carbonation. So in theory, in about 2 weeks, these beers will be fully carbonated and ready to drink. Well, got a lot more of these to do, but it's been fun. Brewing a pre-prohibition lager next. The idea with the lager is with the basement being around 50 degrees, it should be pretty optimal for fermentation, especially for a lager style beer. So excited to try that next.